Welcome back to Synergy Bonus. 3 guys that like to sit around, talk about games, and drink. And these 2 are the reason that I drink, as we're talking about another social experiment game tonight.
We said we would do it, and we're going to do it. So we're going to talk about Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life.
I hope your dog had a wonderful life.
Do I get a dog in this game?
Yes, you do.
Zelbag?
This is the Harvest Moon where Harvest Pete asks, "What if I'd never been born?"
Harvest Mark.
Or
Pony. What about
Harvest Moon,
For Pony!
A Wonderful Life came out on the Nintendo
GameCube.
GameCube and
The PlayStation 2 on March 16th of 2004.
And if you feel like punishing yourself, it is available on the PS4 on PSN right now.
This one was published by, was developed by Victor Interactive Software and was again published by Natsumi in North America. It is another part of the Story of Seasons spin-off, whatever.
You're not playing Legend of the River King, unfortunately.
Which is an awesome
Same
game.
developer.
That sounds way more epic than the Story
It's
of
a
Seasons.
game about fishing, the RPG.
And they've lost me.
Of the original Game Boy.
Yep. But we're not talking about that, unfortunately. But they do mention the River King sometimes.
Unfortunately!
Oh god, that was a horrible game. A fishing RPG.
Dude, there's an RPG called A Golf Story, and I'm excited to try that.
There was also that weird ROM you found that was
This
a
really had
freaking
better be
racing
about warfare in the
game
Persian
RPG.
Gulf, otherwise I'm out.
Well, that is not a weird ROM. I own that game. It's called Final Lap Twin, and it's got an RPG racing mode. We're talking about Harvest Moon, though, and not Final Lap Twin. I will do a single player on that sometime. How's that? Fair enough? Fair enough.
Fair.
Okay.
Harvest Moon, Friends of Mineral Town. Not Friends of Mineral Town. A Wonderful Life. Why am I talking about Friends of Mineral Town? Because it's a better game.
Obviously, we have some feelings about this one, so we'll, as we usually do, let Spoonie kick it off with giving us a rundown of the story.
I'm not going to give a rundown of the story. Greg can give a
Okay, once again, your father has just passed away, and you're inheriting your grandfather's farm from him that your father also ran. And you're going to go and work on it with your dad's best friend, Takakura, who is totally not a Yakuza. That guy is scary, and he's going to live on your farm.
So
How is this not your actual inheritance again?
Because we don't own a farm anymore.
So anyways, this guy
He
lives
sold
on
it.
your farm. It's weird.
Takakura's kind of cool, though, but he's that mentally figure like,
He literally
make
makes
sure
that
you
sound.
actually sell your plants.
Makes that sound.
I'm gonna go walk to town. It's 12 miles. Uphill both ways.
Literally, your farm is uphill, which is great.
And also, town is 12 miles because, well, you don't really
Mineral
know
Town's
that.
that way, and you can't go there.
You're literally the next town over from Mineral Town.
Anyways, everything that was good about Mineral Town, this game took away.
But yes, your father died. You're going to work the farm with Takakura, his best friend, who lives in the other house on your farm. And unlike other Harvest Moons where you have 3 years, no.
You go until you die.
It's
You
a wonderful life, and if you don't get married by the end of the first 2
You
years,
fucking just die.
It's game over. Because
Okay, you will actually die after the first 2
no,
years.
it's just game over if you don't get married by the end of the first 2 years, which is actually an extension from my normal timetable.
Actually, it's the first year.
No, 2
Man,
years.
if you had 2 years to get married, I'd be planning your funeral already.
I thought it was 1 year, and okay, so there was 5+ bachelorettes in
3, oh yeah, 5 plus.
in the other games. There are 3.
If you're playing the PlayStation release, 4.
Hold
if
on.
you're playing the DS version, 5.
So, the handheld version, you've got, like...
Because it's based off the PlayStation 1, which is also based off the 64 one.
I'm thinking back to our last video. The handheld one, you rattled off like a dozen potential love interests. And this one that's on a major console system, they could only fit in 3.
You had Muffy, you had Cecilia, and you had Nami.
Nami, yep.
Okay, Muffy
Is this an episode of Arthur?
Muffy is your bar wench girl.
She's the alcoholic.
which
there's
I was
one in
gonna
every
go for.
Harvest
And
Moon
like the worst part is like her story's actually kind of sad.
Yeah.
2, there's Cecilia, who's just a farm girl.
Who's got an arranged marriage set up, and she's really a bland character, and you can actually go and... You can do a lot of dickery right there for evil social engineering.
Fun fact. My literal ex-fiance threw a bitch fit when I was pursuing Muffy. So much so that I had to marry Cecilia to not have a real-world fight with her.
He's dated some real winners.
Moving on. And the last one is Nami, who is just an aloof drifter.
Yep.
That's...
Who, if you don't marry, she leaves the town for about 20 years and then comes back later on in the game and is kind of just regretting her path in life.
I hate every single character in this game.
I hate Gustava.
Which one is that?
That's the weird freaking hippie that lives in the yurt.
I hate him. I hate Galen, but I have to befriend him and his wife to get the fishing pole.
Galen's a cool dude.
And then his wife dies.
After the second year when his wife dies, Galen becomes a little bit more
And you get your
chill
fishing pole.
because he's lonely.
There's a bum who goes through your trash.
Oh, Murray.
I tried
That guy
giving
will
him
also
money.
steal the shit you're trying to sell.
And everyone else is pretty non-memorable. There's like a bitchy girl that lives on the hill. Maybe. I don't know.
No. The bitchy girl would be Chris, the not salary man, but salary woman who makes her way to the city to work.
I tried to
every-
marry her, but I didn't realize she was married.
That's okay. Her husband's kind of forgettable.
Dude, her husband's Wally. He runs down the street. He has a twinkle in his eye.
That's why he said he's kind of forgettable. And then you have the best character in the game, Moku Moku, who's totally not the abominable snowman in Japan.
So, a few things to note what this game has done. One, you don't have a shipping box anymore. Because fuck that, that makes too much sense. You can go, sit in town, and literally wait for people to walk by here, buy this item, and they'll try to fucking undercut you every single time. And the item that they want to buy is never the item that you really want to sell. I want to buy your fishing pole. Or I want to buy your hoe and your watering can. No, I need those. Buy these turnips. Well, I'll give you like 5 for those. Well, I'm offering 20.
Or you go and set things up so Takakura will actually take them to town when he goes to do his errands.
Is this the fucking fairy tale of Bristle Lip? Is a man in a cloak gonna ride by and smash your wares in a second? This is depressing.
That would actually be more interesting than this game.
This game has one music track until you find the records for the other. Otherwise, it's always spring music. The days last forever. Your
Also-
sleep cycle is weird. It's not you go to bed at whatever time, you wake up at 6 in the morning. No, I went to bed at fucking 7 o'clock at night because literally there was nothing left to do because the days are too fucking long. Congratulations, you're up at 4 in the morning. Well, no one else is up. All my shit's done. Well, guess what? It's about 8 in the morning now. I gotta go to bed.
Time to socialize.
This game also caused an ongoing meme with me and one of my friends,
Oh no.
Jordan. Because this is one of the first games where you can plant trees that will actually develop fruit, and they'll continue throughout the seasons and the years.
Okay.
So I created the crop swastika
Of course you do.
of apple trees.
We bear the fruit in the form of trust.
I'm going to hell.
But, like, the other thing that this game does is, like, you grow old and you die.
Yeah, the game actually ends with you dying and your
kid-
wife trying to wake you up, and then your kid inheriting.
Like-
if you raised them a certain way, and depending on who you had a kid with, they might end up taking over the farm. Otherwise, they sell it off.
So, and here's the other thing, too, like...
You remember what I said last time about this is fucking depressing and the kind of shit that I play games to get away from?
The other game's more enjoyable than this.
Oh yeah,
Sometimes-
the other games are much more lighthearted. Characters don't die unless you talk to them on rainy days.
But yeah, like, you get your kid and you can parade him around town, you can throw him in the air and do all that fun stuff that you can do with a kid.
You can take your kid all the way out to the quarry and leave them.
I take my kid to the edge of the map and set him next to the water.
I tried because of the other game.
Of course you tried.
I left them with the forest spread.
I would be a great beta tester. So, I don't think I've ever played past year 1 on this. Like, I had the kid, and then just...
Yeah. Realize you got past year 1 because year 1 you'd get married, or year 2.
You get married,
The
you have a
kid doesn't
kid.
occur until the next time skip.
I don't know, like, I know there's a kid, and I just stopped.
There's
My
time
character never
skips-
got older.
There's time skips set up
Wouldn't it be
where
nice if
it
it
goes
wasn't that way?
forward so many years in the game. Like, starts out, you're like 16, however, in the US, they aged you up. You're like 20-something. But you're like 16 in the Japanese version.
It would be awful if you were 16 you were getting married.
It's not like that that's how their law system's set up, and well, whatever.
Not to mention the cultural difference.
Yes, and then you get the first 2 years, and you get married. It skips forward 3 years, and during that time skip, there's not a lot of noticeable differences to your character. Then your wife gets pregnant, and you've got like a 2-3 year cycle where you're going through like newborn baby and everything. Then there's a time skip, kid's a toddler.
Like, see, for me, I felt like by the end of the first year, I was married and had a kid by the time year 2 started. Like, I don't know. This game was just...
It's long,
not good.
It's drawn out, and it's very repetitive.
It's so boring compared to the others. There's not a lot to do in it.
What's even worse is...
There's no festivals.
That's one thing, but the even more depressing part that makes me question my life choices is it's represented in the game that as the time skips go forward, your character's model changes. Everyone's character's model changes. Characters die off. New characters come into town. You start losing your stamina you have because you're getting older.
That's kind of cool, though.
Like, towards the end of the game, like the last set of time frames, you are this hunched old little old man with white hair and a mustache. It's all white. And
is that because you burned off your beard?
Well, no, your character never grows a beard. You can't actually go to a barber shop. You just grow a mustache. Freaking lack of customization options. But you have like a quarter of the stamina you had when you were just starting out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's nice. That's a nice little nod to have.
Probably
there.
still work circles around your punk-ass grandson who went to get a computer degree.
Even then, you don't have a grandson at that point because by the amount of time skips, evidently you went from being 16 to being 80 without your kid ever getting older than 16. Yep, don't ask.
Oh, this game was just not good. And for me, this is where Harvest Moon stopped being fun. Where Harvest Moon stopped being that charming game that I could go and get lost in. Like, in this game, I literally would be like, I really don't want to play this anymore.
Do you want to catch the best fish?
I never found Harvest Moon fun, but okay.
It has a charm to it.
Yeah,
this doesn't have that charm.
Fun. You want to catch the best fish? Get ready of getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go fishing. Oh yeah, time doesn't stop.
Yeah, time doesn't stop in buildings in this one.
Again, that's real life shit that I try to avoid by playing video games.
Like, days took forever. I think days are like, 45 minutes long?
Yeah.
Compared to like
about 30 minutes maybe.
Compared to like the 10 minutes that they were in like the other one, or the 20 minutes that they were.
Also, you have to go and water your crops multiple times a day.
20 minutes I might be okay with. 10 minutes is far, far too short.
10 minutes I think was the original Harvest Moon.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
Like, really
you had to know what you were doing that day.
But like, Friends of Mineral Town there, I think they're 20-minute days, and also time stops inside buildings and stuff. Like when you're in a cave in that game, the increments would go 10 minutes, so like 10 seconds had passed for your thing.
Basically, every minute in real life would be an hour in the game.
Like just this.
So let's back off away from that stuff a little bit and go into some of the other details. How's the music to this one?
Not good.
Not good.
Not good.
No.
As I said,
forgettable.
You only have the spring theme unless you find the records and you manually change it. I do think it's a nice.
That's a bad mechanic, but that does make sense. It's a bad mechanic for a game.
I do like the fact
tell me about the tracks
that it has the winter theme from the original Harvest Moon.
Very good.
On that.
Which
Those
is kind
are
of a bleak theme.
Only 2 tracks I ever found because I didn't play this very much.
All right.
Visually, the game looks great.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, it's a very pretty game.
GameCube game, I imagine it would be.
Your sprites look good. Everything looks good in that aspect.
Okay.
You know, even like the way the crops pop up, like there's a lot of attention put into them.
If only they put that much attention into the story.
Yes and no. Like, there's some very nuanced storytelling that can go on as the time skips occur. As I mentioned with Cecilia, you can do some super dickery level shenanigans with that. Like, Cecilia's set up with an arranged marriage. So, if you court her, that involves her breaking the arranged marriage that her older sister and brother-in-law, I don't know what,
because that's where you get their seeds from.
Yep. They own the seed shop that sells you your seeds.
They kind of alienate you, don't they?
If you marry Cecilia, they don't really approve, but they eventually warm up to you because this marriage was going to go and bring the family a lot of money. Now, however, if you go and pursue Cecilia in the romance tree up
And
to
then
that point,
break
and then
off someone and go with
then
someone
marry
else.
someone else, she will never talk to you again.
And also, you have just cut off your seed supplier.
Yeah,
so you need
they
to
won't
have,
deal with you anymore.
You need
They
to have
will
the
not
seed
sell to
machine
you.
and have to do your own seeds and stuff. It's messed up. Control wise,
Man.
I mean, it's not terrible. I do think some of it's clunky. Some of the systems that they put into place just don't work very well.
It didn't work well, and it got worse with the PlayStation 2 port because, well, it turns out the GameCube was a whole lot better on load times.
Shock.
Yeah. And
We-
graphics.
Mini discs.
We will live and die by the fact that the GameCube was the superior system in that generation.
Not a lot on the library, but the library did have some great stuff to it. I
That's a
just
PS2, man.
I had
No.
both. So this game was just a disappointment for me all around. I know you liked it well enough.
Clearly, you put a lot more time into it than you
I had some fun with it, but at the same time, this game would get really dark, and I would just sit there like, I have to go play something else now.
Yeah, and you shouldn't have to take a break
Yeah,
from the game
from
to play
a-
another game.
Farming game that I normally just have this, like, hey, I'm gonna go and do this. Oh, look, what am I doing? Farming.
And the game that came out on the console after this was Magical Melody, which went a whole different graphical tone.
What's he doing
Which
in this
was a-
game? Farming. What are the chores he's supposed to be doing instead of playing games? Farming.
But like again,
Screw you, this gives me more of a sense of validation.
Again, like I said, this was the downfall for me for Harvest Moon. The characters weren't memorable, which was interesting because in the other Harvest Moons they were pretty much the same characters, but rewritten, retold, redone, and whatnot. This was a whole new cast of characters, and I just could not get behind. And that's
Ultimately, they
been
weren't that
the
interesting.
problem with subsequent games. So when I played Stardew Valley for the first time, I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking like any of these characters. I'm like, oh yeah, these are all awesome characters.
I'm trying to think in Stardew Valley, is there any single character that makes me go, I hate that person and I wish they would die?
Haley, initially.
No, Haley's sister.
Oh, the hippie chick.
Yeah, her. She needs to die.
It's strange. It's almost like good writing and good characterization are important to a game.
Exactly.
Weird.
But I don't really have anything else to say about A Wonderful Life. It
least
was
nothing
not
positive.
a wonderful life.
It's an overrated movie.
There was nothing wonderful about it. Hey, if your farmer had never come to town, does that mean they would have had a strip club?
Were they gonna bose those town down too?
No,
I
but
was
no. That was Save the Homeland, where they plan on building a resort.
I was referencing the movie. One of the evil things in the movie, if the guy had never been born, is that the rich man in town opens up a strip club, thereby creating more jobs and actually making a better economy.
I'm about to blow your mind, Trav. I've never seen the movie.
I've never sat through the whole thing just because I get bored, and I really hate it.
Oh, it's a boring as fuck movie, but
And this is a boring as fuck game. And I think with that, good night and good gaming.
I'm going to go contemplate this on the Tree of Woe.
Hey, thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed what you saw.
let us know. Give us a like and a comment down below.
Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell to make sure you get all notifications from us.
And as always,
Good night.
and good gaming.